question.
I do like the beginning with him going. Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah. Welcome back to Coming This Summer, the long-awaited review for Deadpool and Friend, which was the original name of the title of the movie. Yeah, catch our non-spoiler review. We'll do probably 2 minutes of a recap of our non-spoiler review before we get into plot spoilers. I don't think we're necessarily going to spoil the cameos in this video.
I agree with what you're saying.
I think we go down the list one by one in a different thing.
I think it's respect. People need to stop spoiling it. It didn't officially come out till today.
Yeah, that's why we're not going to really spoil much other than what we thought about the movie and the plot details.
Yeah.
Right? So what did you think of Deadpool Wolverine recap for the guys?
Yeah, it was
fans?
Definitely the strongest Deadpool movie by far. It was fan service the movie, like you said, but in a good way, like in the best way,
in a respectable way.
Yeah, my heart grew like the Grinch 3 sizes. I felt like I was 10 years old watching after school X-Men stuff.
Yeah,
I was like,
like it brings out your inner
is
child.
It. Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I think this was one of the best X-Men things we've gotten in a while. Like Logan is an X-Men thing, but it's really a Wolverine story.
Right.
At the end of the day, there's not a lot of X-Men stuff other than like
really
Xavier, but that's the
about
closest
it.
You'll get.
Really.
Yeah. So that's more of a Wolverine movie. This is the best X-Men. Thing we've ever gotten. Like X-Men 97 and this.
Yeah.
For 2024 is like, yes.
Yeah, because I would say before this, Days of Future Past was probably the peak. The X-Men, like you said, with all of the X-Men.
Yeah.
Right. And this is...
And it's been a while. Days of Future Past was 2014. That was 10 years ago. Yeah, Logan was 2017.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since X-Men fans have
because in the meantime,
been able to eat this good.
Since Deadpool and Logan, we've had...
well, Deadpool 2 was 2018, I'm pretty sure.
Right, but okay, this is Deadpool 2. I mean, like, we had Dark Phoenix, New Mutants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gross.
And that's about it.
Yeah, a
bunch of TV stuff that didn't do that well.
A bunch of lame, not great things. And they've been teasing the MCU mutants since Miss Marvel.
At least.
With that theme song. Now's your chance. If
Dip
you haven't seen the movie and you don't care,
go see it.
And you care about plot spoilers, go away.
I was gonna say,
well, we're not gonna spoil any cameos.
Yeah, no, this is like if you like Deadpool at all, go see it. If you like Logan at all, Wolverine at all, go see it. X-Men, the Fox movies, even one bit.
Yeah,
go see this movie. This is probably the best movie since Endgame, and not just like how every review used to say best movie since Avengers. But legitimately, you only really are competing against No Way Home and Guardians 3. And honestly, this was more fun than both of those movies.
Those had way more baggage.
They did.
This movie was like, we can do whatever the fuck we want. And they do.
They do.
So now's your chance.
Hit the thing.
Get the fuck out if you haven't seen it, and then go watch it, and then come back. Let's get into spoilers, baby. No cameo spoilers. Because
we will try our damnedest.
We wanted to get an actual in-depth review out, but without completely killing it for people. So by Monday we'll do a cameo, New Rockstar style.
Like what we thought of the cameos.
Yeah, I wanted to make the list, go down one by one,
Agreed.
and actually get to the meat and potatoes.
We won't do an hour-and-a-half video per character like New Rockstar.
No. I could see us spending 20 minutes because there's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack.
And they do deliver, but that's all I'll say about cameos for this video. Plot details, baby. The Fox universe exists as its own separate multiverse.
Earth
10,001,
I think, or 10,005
or something. Yeah, 85 or whatever. Which I thought was like maybe a Roman numeral for some stupid, or like a binary. It's probably not. It's
just like to track through the TVA. That just happens to be that multiverse number.
But they want to get rid of the Fox universe because Logan dies at the end of the movie Logan, who is their anchor being.
Which there was a lot of rumors about this being the plot, and a lot of people going, well, that doesn't make any sense because the anchor being dies and the universe wipes out. They handled that. They go, it takes thousands and thousands of years. Yeah, it's not like, oh, he's dead, everyone drops dead, we're all dead.
Right.
It's like, but they don't want to wait thousands of years. This dude's an evil asshole.
They want to do it now.
And he wants to do it now.
Yeah. And Deadpool kind of mucks things up and makes them want to expedite that process.
I will say this, if you're still watching and you haven't seen it and you're just going to hear some of the spoilers, we're trying not to, but it's nothing like you have been shown in the trailers. And like The beginning of the movie, though, they really tease hard that it's his birthday. That scene is probably 15 minutes into the movie. Like, that's not the beginning of the movie.
No.
You don't. Everything they show you that made you think it's the end of the movie in that scene is the literal opening montage, and I was so happy. I was so blown away. We got good trailers. We actually got, like, they didn't reveal everything. They didn't blow the story open.
They gave us the villain. They gave us some TVA shit, and it's Deadpool Wolverine. Like, cool.
I can't.
Yeah. But that's the plot of the movie. He's trying to save.
I mean, it's a Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
He's biffed some shit up, and he has to save his family. And this time, it's his whole universe, not just his friends and family. Or his girlfriend, who I know they did it to add stakes and false tension. But that's just one of my only notes I have. I didn't like the fact that they broke Deadpool
up
and her
and
up.
Vanessa.
Because after what they've been through, and the fact that he changed time, I'm hoping at this point you've seen the second one, to have her alive, like, you're going to leave the dude that literally got a time machine to save you? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's a little, even for a comic book movie, that's a little hard to. And then, like, you find out later that she was just kind of like testing him, motivating him. She wasn't really dating him because it was like
an true self or whatever.
That's the weakest part of the entire, like, you could have just kept the whole family angle. They didn't have to break up. He still loves his entire group. That just added like one extra layer. I felt like that wasn't needed. That's my biggest probably complaint of the movie.
That's fair. That's a fair complaint, but considering what you go through with the first two movies, and it's like, they are together.
They are together. Like, everything that happens.
There was nothing at the end of Deadpool 2 that would make you think they wouldn't be together.
And they set this up with, like, he takes his time machine and goes and tries to have an interview with the Avengers, which.
So
whole scene is I won't say who he's talking to.
Deadpool wants to be an Avenger to prove to Vanessa that he actually matters, and he meets with the character. We get a great
at Avengers Tower.
At Avengers Tower,
which
we get it, or HQ. I think it was the Avengers from that got destroyed.
Okay, because I thought it maybe. Okay, I have to go back.
Maybe
and look
it was Stark Tower.
Yeah, you might be right though. Actually.
Because it
you might be right.
Outside, maybe I think on the windows it looked like it was. I can't remember. That was the beginning. It's the beginning of the movie. So he wants to be an Avenger to prove that he matters. Again, we're no cameo spoilers, but there is a big one here that we will not say.
And
happens.
It's great.
And it's amazing.
It's hysterical.
It's fantastic.
It's funny.
Yeah. So that's the plot of the movie, is they're going to prune the Fox universe. The TVA is hunting down Deadpool because they want to recruit him.
But he doesn't want to.
But he doesn't. It's like, okay, we'll bring you into the main sacred timeline, but at the cost of
everyone else.
Of your world.
Yeah.
Of the Fox
Of your
universe.
entire universe.
Yeah.
Right.
Which now includes everything since the first X-Men movie.
They made it official. It was always said that they were all together, but they officially made it from... Yeah, every Fox movie.
All the Fox movies,
all of them.
Let's say.
From
all
old Fantastic to new Fantastic.
All of them.
From old, I'm just saying, like old X-Men, new X-Men, the entire thing.
Everything is now a part of this one universe, which is fine.
And that makes sense, though. I'm okay with that. They hinted that in those movies back then.
I hope they figure that out for Sony. What just pick a universe.
How is it?
Throw a number at the bottom. It doesn't matter.
Quick side here. How is it that they still managed to go back to a universe that's pretty much movie-wise been dead for 5 years?
Yeah, for a long time.
Right?
Since Logan, at least.
Since Logan,
or whatever.
And that got delayed. Isn't I mean? So at least 5-6 years, and they still did it better than DC and Sony.
Yeah.
They went back.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're gonna give everyone their happy ending that liked these movies. How? You can't get Sony.
They tried to do it with Flash.
I know.
I mean, No Way Home did it successfully, but again, that was in the MCU. It wasn't completely Sony's bag.
No, this we went the other way. This we came from there to this way instead of them coming. Yeah.
So the movie opens with probably the best scene in the entire movie, where Deadpool is just digging up Logan's grave from the movie.
Yeah, that's a huge spoiler that they don't show you.
No.
That's
it opens with, we're not going to disrespect. How you're probably asking yourself, how would we do that? Well, we won't. And he's with a shovel, they're playing the music, and he's digging up the fucking X-grave from Logan.
Wolverines can't die. That's ridiculous.
Shit!
Dude.
He's talking to the skeleton, who's still got the cigar.
Puppeting the skeleton.
Holy shit, dude. So funny.
Each beginning Deadpool movie has topped the last, which I find amazing. The original one, he has the car thing where he's like coloring and he dives off, and that's that whole slow-mo scene, and that's great.
I was surprised with it. In the 9 to 5.
The 9 to 5
is really
amazing.
Good. But this tops it all.
This was even better.
Him beating the fuck out of TV agents to bye bye bye.
And doing the exact
while
dance.
doing
the literal dance from the music video. He's got the moves down. He's doing the thing while he's killing them, and it's like,
holy
the movie could
shit,
have been shit from that point forward, and I still would have been like, this was worth the movie.
Yeah. And if you think we're spoiling a bunch, that's the point. We told you, we warned you.
Dip out
and
now.
We're still not even spoiling like everything in that scene.
No.
It's just like, it is the best opening
to
any superhero comedy ever.
My son's grandma's like, oh, you saw it already? And I was like, yeah. It's like, so, can you? I'm like, no. Why? I was like, it's rated R. But like, why? It's like bad language. I was like, it's not even the language. No. Yeah, there's a bunch of F-bombs, but it is so gory.
Very.
It is like
that opening fight where he's just murdering the TVA agents. It's like he's like picking bones off a Wolverine skeleton and like throwing them. Yeah. And okay, big spoiler. So if you don't care, then get the fuck out. But we're doing it.
You're gonna have so many spoiler things along.
Puts the fucking Wolverine claws on, and they work. Like,
well, he does it to a place because
so
he like shakes his arms to get him to come out.
And then he schnicks. And we get the fucking like crawl around to the back of his ass, like with the title card, like probably wondering how I got here. Like, and then he's a car salesman with fucking Peter. So funny, dude.
Yeah.
So
Nothing
obvious,
that was ruined in the spoilers ruined the movie.
No.
Though. And those things still hit because they were just like chunks of the scene.
Big time. Yeah, we got the like TVA fight in the forest, but we thought that was somewhere in the middle.
That looks way middle towards the end.
But it's the opening fucking scene of the movie. Opening credits is him kicking ass to bye 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 while doing the beat for beat dance moves. Holy shit, dude! That's when I knew. I was like, we're in.
I stress when I see movies with him because, like, you know, you're always like, you know. But I was dying. I was like, you can kill yourself because this is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
It was really fucking funny. And then we get like 20 minutes of exposition. Like, he's a car salesman. He's not Deadpool anymore. He's like hung up the suit. Mm-hmm. And like his buddy Peter is like keeping like, put on the suit, man. We are Deadpool.
Old suit.
We are Deadpool. Stop saying that. We are not anything. Yeah.
And then we get a Back to the Future, Power of Love.
Well, it's the birthday party.
Well, that's true.
Then
that
the
happens.
TVA like comes in and
to get us back to that scene. Just like every Deadpool movie, you get and that's how we got here.
And he meets the guy. He meets Paradox, Mr. Paradox, or whatever the fuck his name is, and then he explains all the "we're gonna kill your universe. Come join us." It's like your anchor being died, and then he's like, "Well, I just need a new Wolverine. Like, I'll just take a Wolverine from somewhere else and plug him into my universe, and then he'll be the anchor being of my world." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "This isn't not working." You know, I'm like, it's a good plot device to get him to have to go through the multiverse.
And then kick in Power of Love.
And then we get a Wolverine recruitment montage. And it's fucking amazing. Like an Age of Apocalypse Wolverine with like full metal arm, full red and blue like costume with the fucking super mutton chops. Like, yes, dude. Him on the cross from like, I don't even know what
that's
comic
like
that's from.
20... That's like like after the Sentinels have already like wiped everything out. That was like Days of Future Past, I think, if they don't fix the timeline, basically.
Okay.
And that's it.
And he's like on the pile of skulls, like crucified on the X. Like, fuck yeah, this looks so good, man.
Comic accurate Wolverine.
Yeah. And we get a cameo Wolverine.
Only one.
Only one. That we will not say until the cameo video. We're staying true to not spoiling any.
We're trying not to.
Not trying, yeah. Fucking short King Wolverine is I think what they're dubbing him online. The fucking Wolverine who gets up from a stool and is
5'1".
5'1".
Like comic accurate.
With Hugh Jackman's head. Like, oh my god, dude. I'm surprised.
You have Deadpool look at the camera and go, this is why we don't do comic accurate Wolverine or whatever, something to that effect, and it's like...
I'm surprised the Wolverines didn't come in at the end with the Deadpools. Because that would have been cool, them having to fight through a bunch of different Wolverines and Deadpools, but yeah. So then he comes across the multiverse's worst Logan, who's like just a drunk at this point.
It's
he let
very
down
similar
all the mutants.
to the most of the Logan setups for the movie. He's at the bar. No one likes you here. Get out. I'm gonna drink if
just
I want
one more,
to.
bub.
One more.
Yeah.
Do
I know you, bub?
Yeah. It felt like X-Men's origin. I think they were making fun of Origins a little bit.
Yeah.
So
they have like a little tiff. He finds the suit underneath him, takes him out of the suit, and throws him back into the TVA, and is like, "I got one. How can this one be bad? Look at the costume he's wearing."
So funny.
And like Professor Paradox or whatever the fuck his name is like, "That's the worst one. You got the worst
the
one."
literal worst Wolverine.
He's like, he let his whole world down. He let all the mutants die. Blah 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 blah. Now you're gonna have to help me here because what then happens? Then he dips again, right? But he like, they prune them.
Yeah, he prunes.
This is where they
them.
both get pruned. Yeah, and then they both get sent to the void from Loki, and then we probably get another great fight scene between just both of them. Yeah, which we got a lot of in the trailer.
We got a lot of good. They like imagine how happy you were. What is it now? 12 years ago when the first Avengers came out, and Iron Man fighting Thor, and Cap.
There's only one God, ma'am. Yeah.
We got that fight like 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was glorious.
Let's give the people what they came for.
You want some extras?
Like, let's get this out of the way because the movie's going to be way better than anything you're about to watch right now, and we're still at like a 10. This fight is so fucking good, man.
We always complain about movies being too long, especially superhero movies. This was only 2 hours. Like, you take credits away, it was like 2 hours flat. Like, where's my 2 hour and 45-minute movie that we get when we don't want it?
When we don't want it. Where the fuck was like a 3-hour version of this? I know. Are they fighting to a song here? Like, I can't remember if it's just like music.
I think it's just music.
It's like an R&B thing or whatever.
Yeah, because they get pruned and they literally land right in front of the 20th Century Fox thing. And then it's like, oh yeah, Deadpool's like, don't be an ape, help me up, and then that's where we get that original teaser from all the way back.
Lifts him up and stabs him.
Never mind, I'm good.
Let's get the people, and then he like kicks up his guns and does the like reload thing. Like Wolverine charging at him like on all fours and like doing
the cartoon,
the diving
and the
with the claws.
Capcom stuff.
Holy shit, dude.
We got Berserker, we got the Rage Wolverine, and it was like, oh my god.
In comic accurate suit. And it gets so much better.
During that montage, there's another comic accurate, like 80s comic accurate Wolverine with the brown.
Yes.
And I was like,
they do the
holy shit.
The Hulk one. The one where he fights Hulk.
Yeah.
Like the original brown and yellow. And then we get a reflection of Hulk in, that's not a cameo. I mean, that's just like, it's a frame.
It's a frame cameo. And everyone said, the Hulk's in the movie, and there was rumors and everything. But he's in the movie like, you see him reflecting right now behind me off a mirror and for 3 frames. And
we get the Thor bit where instead of Loki's crying over him from Dark World, the running joke of him waking up from a dream. Thor!
It's like 8 times. You know what, Thor crying? Did anybody figure out why Thor's crying yet? Like any opportunity that he got. Even like at the end when they're back at the TVA about to go for the final thing, he like has to ask like
where's Thor?
Thor crying?
Yeah. What's that all about?
Why is he?
Yeah. After the fight, they're fighting for a little bit, and like what happened? I mean, they just like beat the shit out of each other.
They're beating the shit out of each other, and then the Mad Max crew rolls up.
Yeah, then all the old Fox characters will say.
Which you saw, which the ones I know in the trailer that we got, which in the trailers they spoiled Sabretooth.
And Toad.
For sure. And Pyro. Those are the 3 they absolutely came out of the gate and spoiled.
They're in the movie.
They're in the movie. They're well, a couple of them are in it enough that it's not spoiled.
The Sabretooth thing didn't matter. That was kind of lame, actually.
It was all, that's the setup of a joke.
Yeah.
It won't spoil it, but that's
we've been waiting so long for this, and he's like, you look ridiculous. Like, and he's pulling the swords out of him. Yeah, so they get captured. There's a huge cameo that we won't spoil here, but yeah, just know that it's in the movie. And then they get captured by the goons of Cassandra Nova, who is our bad guy for the film.
Which all those people we just mentioned, all the Toads and all that, are her henchmen.
Her goons.
All the bad guys from the original X-Men movie are basically
working for her.
More or less, not spoiling, but I'm saying more or less. That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
So
and we go to the Ant-Man fucking fortress or whatever.
We get the Paul Rudd
finally
joke,
aged.
Right? Which I wish they would have saved.
We
that
got
for
in the trailers.
Movie.
That kind of sucks. Yeah. That was like an unavoidable thing too, because they played that before movie theaters. Like people still laugh though.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, you guys must not watch any trailers. like
Zero.
any trailers at all. Like the 20th Century Fox logo being in the background, I'm like, I feel like we've known about
Forever.
that.
People are cheering. Woo! I'm like,
we've known about that for like 2 years now.
Okay.
Like, so Cassandra Nova enters the movie.
I just forgot her name now.
Fantastic. I can't remember the actress.
She murdered
name,
it. She was wonderful.
It was great.
She was female Charles.
Yeah.
She was literally like, if Charles was evil and a woman, then
yeah. And instead of like telekinesis, she has to like use
she has
her
it,
fingers.
but she's not. She doesn't. Yeah, she has to actually
she, like,
physically
puts her fingers like in the back of their head and is like grabbing when she's like dragging the fucking dude with like the fingers
the CGI
in the head.
in this movie is such an
Holy
improvement
shit.
over the last handful of Marvel projects that it's disgusting. What he's talking, it's no joke. Like she goes in front ways to Wolverine, but yeah, she can like make your head jello, but at the same time grab it solid and do what she wants with it, like a bowling ball. It's like the weirdest.
It's fucking
It looks
weird,
creepy
man.
and cool though. Yeah.
Yeah, so creepy. The whole point is
to set up. Okay, so basically, they bring him back there to feed Alioth, which
or join her.
Right, which is in the trailers again. That's,
Yes.
Again, we're not
From
spoiling that.
Loki season 1, episode 5, like he does the call out. Well, I know. Yeah.
So that scene happens. They escape, which sets up. They keep hinting that they're like, you got to find the other survivors. You got to find the others, the others, the others. They escape, find the others, which, like we talked about, we will say there are really 3 that are super secret. Like the fourth one got revealed.
There's 4 cameos.
There's four cameos. They're all from the Fox universe. Every one of them is from a different Fox movie. One of them is it's hard for the one to not.
Fox movies that didn't happen.
Didn't even finish getting made.
Yeah.
And then it just that's a huge chunk of the movie. That's really good.
It's a great scene too.
It's so good.
We get great dialogue.
We get
from Wolverine
we basically
and
that
fucking
leads
him.
to an Avengers style, in-game style, Fox universe.
Oh, we skipped over before they find the others. We get Dogpool, and we get Nice Pool, which is just played by Ryan Reynolds.
Just a wig.
No scars or cancer burns or anything. With a wig, with this really shitty. The Proposal.
That's
fucking
so funny,
man.
Do you think all I do? That's how I break fourth walls.
Who hooks him up with a Honda Quest or whatever? Yeah, and then we get the Dogpool stuff is funny. Of Dogpool just like licking, fucking like putting the tongue like in his mouth.
While they're having a conversation, it's a.
That's all real, by the way. There's like a behind-the-scenes photo of them breaking. Because like they tried to put like a bunch of shit on his face to get like the Dogpool to like actually, like, it was like salmon paste or some gross like shit. Yeah. So they hook him up. We get the Taylor Swift bit where it's like
because he wants the dog, but the other Deadpool, Nice Pool, is like, no, it's my dog, and he's like all sad. And then we get like rain and Taylor Swift music playing as they're driving down the road.
Like hard cuts to both of them just driving to Taylor Swift playing in the fucking car of this minivan. Like. The line delivery from like Hugh Jackman when he's like completely shitting on Deadpool for being like an immature asshole.
That's what I mean. He's like Logan from the Logan movie, but he's cutting like jokes that aren't really jokes because he's calling out Deadpool for being Deadpool.
And then we get the best fight ever to You're the One That I Want from Grease. When we get a Greatest Showman tease.
Yeah,
but then they hit the radio and it like keeps changing. But then we get the car fight. Which is like, you thought that first fight was good?
Yeah, don't worry.
No, this fight, set to a fucking banger of a song. Them just tearing apart this fucking van. When he like kicks him through the roof and he like comes landing back down, dude. Holy shit. I was so in by this point, man. I'm like,
I know, like, I don't want this movie to end.
No.
I know, I'm like,
ever.
This is the best thing ever.
So they fight, and then they're like both unconscious, like in the car. Deadpool's all tied up with the seatbelts and shit,
They're
just
sleeping.
like laying
they
there.
Cut it like it's a sex thing. Goes, you couldn't handle it. He's like, or something about all night, and he's like, oh, you haven't seen nothing yet. And then the car's like bouncing, so like as it's panning away, like they're doing it, but really they're just trying to kill each other.
There's like blood splattering off screen and shit. Yeah.
That leads to our big Avengers style
the others
in-game big fight.
We'll
scene.
refer to them as the others for the rest of this.
They get through that
they had to plan to go fuck up Cassandra Nova's stuff.
And more or less it works.
Yes.
I don't want to give too much away, but like more or less it works.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, hey, they're not killing the bad guy. Mm-hmm. I was so happy at that point in the movie, and I was like, oh, they're gonna.
Yeah.
Good,
well, we still got like another 30, 40 minutes.
Shit.
Yeah. So.
But they escape, and then of course there's the Doctor Strange reference that we saw in the trailer with the.
Yeah, Cassandra
He's
Nova.
not in it. I'm not spoiling anything.
She sling rings them.
She mentioned some hacky magician who she didn't like left that Doctor Strange.
Sends them back to Deadpool's universe.
And
right.
then, yep.
And then we get, I believe, like Paradox comes in, and he's like, whoa, guys.
Yeah, they chase him down.
Like, stop. Like, otherwise, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This happens. It's kind of fuzzy.
Cassandra Nova comes through the thing after because she finds out, because they try to kill her, and you find out that she was working for Paradox in the TVA the whole time.
Yeah, the pyro
Like you
thing.
couldn't tell,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So she comes through to get revenge on Paradox, decides, you know what, I'm gonna wipe everything out but the Void.
Yeah.
By the way, I brought the Deadpools so you're
all
not
the
gonna...
Deadpools
all
come
of
through
them.
the portal. Yeah.
And then we get 10 minutes of why the multiverse needs to end jokes.
Yes.
Which
he does
was
like a huge speech.
He literally actually gives a speech.
Yeah.
Which seems sincere. Like, we tried it, guys. We did. It was,
it was fun.
Some highlights.
We had some fun.
We had some fun.
It's time to hang it up. It's time to hang it up. Yeah, as he's talking to like 40 different versions of him, which we get Kid Pool, Baby Pool.
Which you were right about. Again, I won't
Head
spoil it if you
Pool,
haven't looked, but...
Cowboy Deadpool.
Cowboy Pool, it was who you thought it was.
Okay, cool.
Deadpool was somebody that was in Guardians.
Oh.
I won't say who because we're not spoiling, but
Very
I'll tell you
true.
off air.
I think I know who. I think I know. Lady Pool, played by who everyone thought.
Yep.
Obviously, we won't spoil those, but it's a big plot point, so we can't not
It's
talk
the
about
setup.
it.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of points for the movie that have them set up to where Deadpool and Wolverine can walk around a corner to badass slow music, and they do it so many times in the movie, and every time I'm like, I'm fucking
Yeah, we
here
get the
for
like a
this.
prayer. Finally, the huge
And
moment.
the mask.
He pulls the fucking cowl
And let me just say
on.
right now, it is the best suit thing since they mastered
looks
Iron Man.
So fucking good.
It's unbelievable.
That shot of him pulling the mask over looks amazing.
And because they CGI the eyes,
Yes.
you can't tell
They're like
either.
Deadpool's eyes.
He's like,
Yeah.
real mask, and as everything's already been changed to CGI with the real, and you don't even know anymore.
Don't even know.
And he instantly sounds like the cartoon X-Men.
He, like,
looks like
changes his
him with the
voice.
chin. He's like, let's go. And I'm like, I'm not crying, you're crying. It's everything.
But then in action,
Oh, it's nuts.
them tearing through all the Deadpools.
Then they do
like,
a one-shot, CGI one-shot, which
Side
is a
scroll.
lot, very similar to the Guardians of the Galaxy, but instead of straight on, it was to the side.
It was like the Mario scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is I don't know how they did it one-shot style, because there is not a cut there. I mean, I know it's a lot of CGI, but it is probably a 4-minute, the entire Madonna
I thought it was
song.
going to end, and then it just keeps
It
going.
keeps going.
Just keeps going.
And we get full berserker. He's killing like 10 at once. They're all trying to stop him. He's going, ah! Like right through them, like it isn't
when they
even
get in
a
the
thing.
bus, and like Deadpool's the bus driver, and then also
He's like-
Deadpool's are like in the seats. Like, where did that bus come from? Did they
Blood
drive the
just
bus
splattered,
through the
I
portal?
know.
Like, why'd they get on the bus? Yeah.
It's so common. It makes you feel like you're playing Marvel vs. Capcom.
yes.
too.
Yes.
That's the city.
and
the
I'm
bus.
sure new Rockstars will tell you like the specific moves they did.
Yeah, if you
from
want
those
all of
games,
that,
but
you know, we're just coming from enjoying a comic book movie standpoint. But
So good. Man.
there's never
So
there's
good.
never a spot that I went, well, this movie, they could have fixed that.
Yeah.
Again, I know I complained about them breaking them up, but again, they were like, hey, we need to make the stakes greater. That's what that was. That was writers in a room going, how can we make, without doing anything, how do we make the stakes greater? And that's what that was. Seriously.
Yeah.
The nice pull scene when he comes through, before all the Deadpools come through, and he's still on their team, and he's like, oh no, I'm with, like, they're the mean ones. That, and I don't want to spoil any of that, that is some of the funniest shit. Their dialogue followed by the fight that happens with the human shield stuff, it is the funniest.
I'm gonna live.
No problem. Just, how long does it take you to regen, buddy?
Regen? Yeah. Oh shit. How did I know he wasn't gonna
Hugh
regen?
Jackman's face when he does it off to the side is, oh my. Hugh Jackman sells the movie with his facial expressions,
So
just
good.
reacting to Ryan Reynolds.
So
just
good.
like,
This Wolverine grew on me so much during this movie. I'm like, I did not like him when they first meet him because he's like playing it weird because
Yeah.
he's fucking hammered, you know? But then I'm like, by the end, I'm like, till you're 90.
till you're 90.
Like they keep Deadpool keeps leaning over.
Till you're 90.
Till you're 90. Yeah. Okay, and then we get like the climax. We'll wrap her up here. The climax
The weakest
of
part of the movie.
Marvel's gonna Marvel.
Marvel's gonna Marvel.
We have this huge stakes Cassandra Nova's gonna plug into the Time Ripper, which is the coolest name for a fucking MacGuffin.
It's a miniature version of the whatchamacallit from the
Loom
show, the Loom. It's a miniature Loom. That's basically
it's
they
like
explain
a
it.
Prototype Loom.
Yeah, they explain like this is that thing, but we're designing smaller ones so that we can wipe out decaying universes piece like quickly when they need to.
Instead of him going, he's like,
Right.
we used to go in
and just
prune hand by hand, like one by one, like the whole thing or whatever. Yeah, they had the reset charges from Loki season 1.
Yep.
They like throw a time bomb, basic time bomb.
It's really weird when this exists because you reminded me. There is a part where he says, "Since the recent events, we don't do that anymore," which would imply that that Loki season 2
I think
just
the bulk
happened.
of this movie was written before Loki season.
But I think that line changes everything.
Yeah.
Because she's in charge now. Again, I won't spoil.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's almost like you're expecting a Loki cameo from him sitting in his tree thing where he's... That's like, I was waiting for it. Like at the end credits, like him making a joke, like it's him that helped Deadpool or Deadpool. You know what I mean? Like, we do get a joke at the end credits. And it is in that vein, but it's not what you think it is.
There was supposed to be a lot more characters from Loki that I think make the cut after season 2
After
happened.
everything that happened. Thanks, Jonathan Majors.
Because there's a lot who were like rumored to be cast.
There were set photos of some.
That we didn't get, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Most of the Loki cast doesn't show up.
No, there's
some
only...
of them do.
Yeah.
But most of them don't, which is unfortunate.
It was.
But they got to stop Cassandra Nova from destroying the Fox universe. It's basically like, if one of us goes to stop her, we'll die.
Yeah,
right?
They set it up. They Guardians of the Galaxy at very hard with like, no one man can hold the Mind Stone or the Soul Stone.
They're like, we can come back from anything, and it's like, no, you'll be. It's like antimatter and matter.
Yeah.
It's like you will be deatomized.
So at that point, I'm like, oh, antimatter and matter. It's Deadpool and Wolverine. It's the most serious, heartfelt character with the most over-the-top, ridiculous character. I wonder what's going to happen when they get down there.
It's funny though because
it's good.
They have a heart-to-heart.
They do.
Like, and then he fucking Star Treks him, and they make the joke where it's like needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many or whatever. Like, and I'm like, how dare you fuck on shit on Spock's
It
death.
hits. I'm just saying, like, it's the weakest part of the movie only because there really was no other ending that you could go with. That would make sense.
They obviously like can't fight her. Like they showed you that in the movie that it's like
she will
she's
murder
too
them.
powerful.
Yeah, she'll murder them.
With a thought.
Yeah.
You know, she's like an Omega level mutant.
Yep.
We actually get the name drop for Omega level mutants. Finally.
Well, they also make it sound like Wolverine's an Omega level mutant.
I think he is.
Because she says, like, why would you bring an Omega level mutant here or whatever?
I think
like,
that's Cassandra Nova is who they're referring to. Because Charles, I think, is an Omega level.
Well, he is, yeah.
Like, Storm is an Omega level mutant. Magneto is a Like,
the
anyone who can basically
end the Earth.
And the Iceman is Bobby Drake is an Omega level. Because he can be like, Ice Age. Boom. You're all fucked, you know? So they're grabbing the thing. Deadpool can't grab the other side. It's a super great beat.
Oh, it's good.
The song kicking in, Wolverine grabbing his hand and grabbing the other thing.
They handle it perfectly. I'm just saying, I know the people that want to like pick things apart. That's the only weak part of the movie.
It is.
They didn't invent a new ending.
Because it's a Marvel climax.
But there's no large CGI battle. We didn't get ridiculous, over-the-top kaiju garbage like we've gotten a bunch of times. They could have easily.
When it was the Deadpools coming through the portal, I thought it was going to be Alioth. And then I was like, oh, fuck, Alioth in, like,
a regular
New York.
world.
Like,
yeah, that's
He's
not good.
going to end the Fox universe, like, even if
I thought the same thing.
And then, like, maybe they would have teamed up with Cassandra Nova, because it's like, it's your home, too.
See,
what about Charles?
Like, is it going to be, I thought the Deadpools were going to come through first and be like, she's sending Alioth, we got to kill Alioth. You know what I mean? And, like, all the Deadpools were going to kind of get together, and I was like, oh, shit.
I genuinely thought, because they hold on that portal for a little bit. And it's, like, kind of cloudy, but it's, like, just a dust cloud. And I'm like, fuck, is Alioth going to come through this portal? No, we're not doing that. Okay.
No, it's joke time.
It's joke time. Yeah, it's joke time, which it was. It was time for a joke. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But they save the day. They stop the world from being destroyed, but get destroyed in the process themselves. Blobbity, blobbity, blobbity. They survive.
Of course, because they can't be killed.
Fine.
Paradox is going to TVA jail.
You said only one man can survive. What about two? And they like fucking make out or whatever.
The joke
you know?
with the one TVA agent who's like totally in love with them, but he keeps like, what are you talking? I'm calling HR. But in reality, every extra chance the camera cuts to him, he's like
pining over Hugh Jackman's ads. Yeah, they give him a shirt to put on. All the chicks are like,
he's in the background. He's like smelling this shit. It's so funny. Yeah, and then we get like
An epilogue.
We get to stay vigilant because you never know, we might need you to again.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this act of kindness that you did has somehow regrown the timeline, and Logan is now the new anchor of the timeline. Somehow you did it.
Which makes sense. I like how they handle that because it's like, well, he did save the world in that world.
That's true.
So...
No, I don't hate that. But
Okay.
I mean, they gave it, they basically were like, don't worry, they'll be back.
Way to like simultaneously bring up anchor beings and how important they are, and then completely diminish that fact by going, "No, we can just take another one and plug them in."
But then there's
How
probably
is
going to
Tony
be...
Stark not the anchor being of?
Maybe he is. Maybe that's what's going to start happening. But see, that could be also...
Or maybe it's Chris Evans, because he's not technically dead yet. So once he dies, then it'll be like your anchor being died. You know?
See...
They have to address who the anchor being is
They will.
in 616.
They will.
Like, it can't be like
But I think
Spider-Man.
it's okay with them replugging things in, because then you have them battling with other universes because they went and jacked that person. Now their shit's crumbling while you saved your own, because that adds like a whole nother... That would make a multiverse high stakes thing going on then.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think it'll be good. It's hard to say right now because like...
Is
Are they
this
gonna,
was super self-contained with the option?
Are
like,
they going to
like
use
a contract?
anchor beings
Yeah,
in,
like we can do this if we want. We might use them. Like, they didn't end it with Deadpool and Wolverine will return, which I don't know if you noticed that. Like normally they always do, but the movie is heavy-handed with that they're coming back. I mean, it was
we
very...
stayed till silence.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah, we stayed
all the way through the credits.
The whole theater did.
The whole theater did.
Nuts. I've been reading online that everyone's doing that. Like they're all just sitting through it. I'm like,
Because you're processing the whole fucking movie still.
all right, so what's your score?
After talking about it, yeah, I think I am at a 9.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
genuinely. After getting it all out of our
Yeah, it's
system
a-
and actually recapping
It's
it, yeah.
it's perfect, pretty much as a comic book movie that you could possibly get. On initial watch, we've talked about this being a super meta comedy.
Big time.
How bad is that going to hurt in 10 years on the rewatch?
Even in 6 months on the rewatch.
I still think it'll be
know?
good enough
Okay.
for this phase because they'll
Okay.
be able to call back and kind of make that work.
Very true.
But I think like Iron Man. The reason to me Iron Man's a top 5 MCU movie is because you can put that on right now
Yeah. Get a great film.
and it's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't need any extra you could never watch another Marvel MCU movie the rest of your life. Just watch that one Iron Man movie and you'd be
it's
like,
really good.
fucking thing rocks
Yeah.
from start to finish.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like, oh, that was funny 15 years ago, or that was good then, but this is not good. No, there's none of that.
I think this will hold up because
It'll hold up
is
better
like,
than...
God, wasn't that fucking
Closing
cool?
all the
Yeah.
Fox stuff really added the weight, and there is some Logan weight into this movie also. I'm gonna give this thing a 9.2.
You just made every Fox movie matter. Like, which
Yeah.
is really important.
Like-
And we mean every Fox movie.
And it's like they said, what they've been trying to do for Sony, and Sony is like, let us incorporate you into this. You do what you want in that, but it'll still be in the overarching thing. And you know how Sony's like, no.
Yeah. I was thinking about that when we were doing the credit. Okay, yeah.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
Fox. I feel like everyone's like, yeah, like because now all those actors can always be pulled back whenever they want to use them because they didn't destroy the thing. It's just,
They'll show up in Secret Wars.
oh yeah,
That's where we'll
God,
see them
yeah.
next, for sure.
Yep.
We need one of these for Sony, but I was thinking in the credits, I'm like, it won't be as good. Because I'm like, Morbius
No, 'cause
and Baron Taylor John. I was telling you,
That's
I'm like,
it.
and Craven like are gonna show up.
See,
like,
the worst part is Sony
Okay.
fucked this up because the original Maguire Spider-Man were always implied to be part of that Fox universe because they
universe.
actually said things in those movies about the other
on the
ones.
Spider-Man gimmick in the behind the scenes of the X-Men movie. Yeah.
So really, they screwed this up already because they could have added on to the No Way Home run and brought Maguire in to close that all. Because there's the Spider-Man teases and all the things in the movie, so you're like, you know, like what could have been.
Yeah. That was it though.
That was it, by the way. We will reveal that. There is no Spider-Man. There's so many rumors that
Oh, God,
Spider-Man's in the
no.
movie.
I mean,
but there's
like,
been a shit ton.
I was
He wouldn't have
hoping-
done it unless he's in the movie. No, that's why. To make all you guys go, he's in the movie. There's no Spider-Man in the movie.
It's like, no, that was him telling you, like, this is as close
This
as we're gonna
close as
get.
you're gonna get.
Just me doing some thwippies with my hands. Yeah. Yeah. 9.2.
Yeah, it's
I'm seeing it again this weekend.
we're going back.
We did IMAX 3D. I would highly recommend.
3D
We're gonna
looked
do
really good.
GDX, fucking
Yeah.
Dolby
Yep.
theater, because I will see this movie 10 times, bro. So fucking good.
I feel like 5 years ago, it's Endgame all over again.
I feel like we did pretty good of not completely spoiling
we didn't ruin
the movie.
it.
No.
We didn't ruin it.
Well, if I watched this and haven't seen the movie, I would have been like, now I really want to go see it.
Yeah, I want to see in detail.
Who are the others they're talking about?
I will say this, one of them, there is not a... If you weren't spoiled and someone didn't walk up to you and say, for a fact, because I was at the premiere on Monday, and this person's in it, no one would believe it.
No one.
No one would believe it.
I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
Like, that person's not in the movie. I can't get over that scene, the slow-mo walk around the corner.
They had such a handle on spoilers, bro.
They did.
I was so surprised. Every single one of those cameos, I was at least like mildly like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. One of the others is like, of course.
They had to, pretty much.
Please. Like, I would have been mad if they weren't in the movie.
Right.
Right.
And plus, that person really pushes the plot forward.
And it plays for such an emotional
That's what I mean. It's
like,
a plot.
Yes,
it's a device
dude.
to make
Yes.
Logan remember who Wolverine is.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah. Yeah, man. I fucking love this movie. I hope you guys do too.
Go see it.
We worked really hard on it, so. Like, subscribe. If you say like the video now, the like button kind of glows.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
like-
pretty sure. And
like-
then subscribe.
like the video. Like it.
Yeah.
YouTube suspense feature for
Yeah.
people abusing it. It felt like that.
MCU's back.
It did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I thought Guardians last year was the one that was like, MCU's back, but it still had the James Gunn isms to it, so it's like, no, fucking Sean Levy.
He did. Everybody was
Holy
shitting on
fuck,
no way.
bro.
There's so many Logan-esque beats in this movie that it blows my mind. All of a
Well,
sudden,
it's like
it
everyone's
turns on
like,
a
it's
dime.
not James Mangold or the guy who does the fucking Deadpool movies,
Yeah.
and it's like everyone was shitting on it, but it's like, no.
Nope.
Let this man, let him
Let
cook.
him cook.
Yeah, let him cook. A lot of promo shit wasn't even in the movie. Half of it was just for